everybody, and welcome to the Pink Table Talk Season 5. We are back, and we are so excited about what we have going on. I know you all see all of this melanin popping and all of this luscious cocoa butter coming through on your screen today. We've got three beautiful ladies here, and I'm so excited. We are talking about what is happening. And let me introduce the women that you see before you. Of course, I'm your host, Maria Reed. Shout out to our Women of Hope here at the House of Hope Atlanta. We love you guys for our show topics, and we got great topics this season. So make sure that you don't miss anything. But the young lady to my, I don't know which side she's gonna be on, but the in the black with this beautiful hair in front of her, smiling beautifully. That's Miss Deidre Stafford. She is our co-coordinator for the women's ministry. Beautiful person inside and out. She's just so lovely. Hey, Deidre, how you doing today?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Of course. So glad that you're here. And you guys, next to her, this beautiful woman that we have met and grown to love through our Life University group. She is one of our online members located in the beautiful city of Memphis, Tennessee, one of my favorite eating places, y'all. I'm so glad to have her. Would you all say hello to Miss Kat Braxton? Hey,
Hi.
Kat. So glad to have you today.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Yeah. And next to her, one of our beauty queens. She's a pretty girl, one of the prettiest women on our praise team. All of them are gorgeous, though. And you see her all the time. She's one of our ministers. She ministers the word. She can preach and she can sing the word. She can do it all. And we are so glad to have her at the House of Hope Atlanta. Would you all welcome Nikki Brown, one of our ministers? Hello, Nikki.
Hey, how are you?
Good. So glad to have y'all. So, okay, y'all, this is real pink table talk today. We are talking about topics. Ladies, I want you to get in the chat boxes, get ready to talk back with us because we're talking about hot topics, things that are going on in 2021. So get with us and let us know what you're feeling about some of these topics because they're really good. All right, make sure you like and share because you know pink table talk is always good. All right, so first topic that we're going to talk about is going back to church. Going back to church. Now, some of you who are watching have gone back to church, wherever your church may be. But as for House of Hope Atlanta, we are still in virtual worship. And according to an article I got online, it says that the article is called "Will Americans Return to Church After the Pandemic?" That's the entitled article. And it said 92% of people who attended church before COVID said they returned, but 7% said they're not coming back. They'll either be a virtual member or they may do like a first and third, a first Sunday in person or something like that. So let's say you guys, and I'll start with you first, Deidre. Do you want to go back to church? Are you ready to get in the house or are you ready to stay online?
Well, we've had our conversations, and I miss church. I'm so ready, but of course, I want
Yeah.
to stay safe.
Hmm.
I don't want to catch COVID, so I'm ready, but I want to be safe. I
Yeah,
want everybody else
yeah.
to be safe.
I get that completely. Most definitely. And that's the whole point for our church size. And I think, too, with a lot of churches
Yeah,
and their sizes, you have to go according to, and be spirit led because some people can go back and that's fine. But our church is really big and we have to have a lot of volunteers and some of our members, and I just wouldn't feel comfortable. I wouldn't want my mom to be there right now. So
yeah,
I get it. I understand.
yeah.
Kat, what about you? Where you at? You want to go in the house or stay online?
Listen, I'm an e-member, so virtual is where it's at for me. But absolutely, when we're able to be safe, you when we're able to be safe, then absolutely, I would love to return to in-person worship. But for me, virtual is where it's at. So I'm surfing the couch right now,
That's
enjoying the
right.
worship and
That's right.
receiving His word.
Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. What about you, Nikki?
Well, I will say that the pandemic definitely has spoiled me. Being able to
Hmm.
record three services in one day, and you can actually
Okay.
enjoy Sunday, not having to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to be at sound check at 6:30. You have two, three services. But I have attended some churches on a Sunday, helping out singing, so that kind of weight balances out a little bit, but. I really do enjoy recording, pre-recording, and using my Sundays as a travel back to Atlanta day,
Right,
as
right, right.
so I'm kind of half and half with it a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. And what do you guys think while we're talking? Are you in church? You miss it? Are you in church? Are you going to church, or are you not, or are you just virtual? And I'll just say for myself, I remember when we first went into quarantine. So my brother, I look, I'm calling his whole name out, Willie Reed Jr., better known as L. He's been going to all these online churches. There, he's always like, "Yeah, I went to your church today. I went to this church today. I went to, because I asked him, hey, did you go to church today? And he'd be like, yeah, I went to like four churches today. And he'd be talking about online. This was before COVID, right? So when COVID hit, I told him, I remember the first month we were out, I really missed like being there. And I was like, man, I miss church. And he was like, give it a little time. You're gonna love it after a while. And boy, when I tell y'all gonna be having to pull me back into the house of hope, like physically. Because I feel so like, and I really want to thank God for our pastor and the praise team and the production because it feels like I'm there. I don't feel like I'm missing anything. We have our Life University groups, and like Kat and Deidre are part of my group, so I see them. I talk to them. I have it's like 30 of us in the group in the class, so I still have the fellowship. And I mean, I'm good. And I never in a million years would have thought that I would think that way. So I'm one of them 7% that's like, okay, I think I'm gonna come first and third. I'm doing like I used to back in the day. We have a church on first Sunday, third Sunday, second and fourth. So, we'll work it out. But yeah, that's me. Anybody else got anything to say on that? And what y'all think? Make sure you all are telling us in the chat.
Well, I guess
All
my
right.
thing is like when you're watching it virtual and you're
Mm-hmm.
at home, I find myself doing other stuff while it's going
That
on
is
versus when I'm
true.
in church, I'm focused, I'm into it. But when I'm at home, it's like
Mm-hmm.
I'm washing dishes, doing something else, and I can't really, really get into it. So that's the part that I
Yeah.
miss, the focus part of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that
and
would be a problem for me. Go ahead,
like,
Nikki.
but for me, again, like just being a part of the production piece of it and actually experiencing what you all see, it's like, all right, I already got mine.
Yeah.
And it's
She
Right.
ain't
like,
right.
I
but
agree.
it's a real experience. Like I wish, I mean, Laria, you've been at some of our tapings,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
Hmm.
Pastor Smith can't even preach. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
to
Mhm.
watch it again, I'm like, oh my God, like we went in this Sunday, like wow. And then just
Mhm.
to
But
stop and then do it
but
all
you
over
feel
again.
it. Yeah, but
Yes,
Kat, do you not feel it though? You feel it?
absolutely, absolutely. And the one thing that I try to keep in mind each Sunday when I get up, and I'm an hour behind you guys, so I'm getting up extra early. But I'm trying to make sure that I'm facilitating myself the same way I would if I was there in person. So I'm getting up. What would I look like on a
Mm.
typical Sunday morning? Let me not just lounge around in the bed. Let me get up and actively be ready to be a part of the worship celebration, even though I'm
Wow.
there in the home and it feels just like you're there. I mean, to be honest with you, there is no difference for me. I honestly feel like I'm
Mm.
right there with them in the house of worship at the time. So it works for me. I love it.
Amen. Mm. Amen. Amen. Look, switching gears, we're going to a whole nother current event. We're going to talk about Haiti. Look, we're going into Haiti now. This is our next hot topic. Look, we're going to get all in there today. So there's an article published by NPR that stated that thousands of Haitian migrants were deported back to Haiti. And I know we've seen that women, children, families, people, hardworking people. These are just not freeloading people who just want to get into the U.S. These are workers, people who have livelihoods and all of that. And many have been living in South America, but due to the pandemic and a lot of the jobs being lost, and I know that many of you, I don't know if everybody watches the news, but Haiti has been through so many earthquakes. They've had hurricanes. I mean, it's always one thing after another. So a lot of people left. And so they started coming to the border of the U.S. to try to get in. And we are deporting them back to Haiti. So do you all feel that that's fair due to, I know recently we had 95,000 Afghans come. There are other European countries that bring people in all the time. What do you all feel is the system fair? And you all can just go. I'll let Kat go first this time.
Absolutely. No. There is no fairness in this. And you
Mm-hmm.
always beg the question, why is it always different when it comes to people who look like you and I? That is
Mm.
the biggest issue that I take with it. Um,
Right.
where was when you think about Title 42, which is what they're using, as the main leverage for why they're deporting the Haitians back to their country, it begs to differ. A few weeks ago, why was that not the same card that was played when we were bringing the Afghans into the country
Mm-hmm.
from a nation that we've been at war with for 20 years? Why does it all of a sudden it's different when it comes to
Exactly.
those who look like us? And to me, honestly, it's infuriating. It really is. And it
Mm-hmm.
just, it pulls at your heartstrings, and it frustrates you because we continue to see it time and time again. It's like, where does the forward progression come in for us? So it's a
Mm-hmm.
frustrating situation.
That is so true. That's so true. Nikki, what do you think?
I feel like if you're gonna send one group of people back, you might as well send all of them back. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's definitely not fair that we are, singled out, regardless if we came from Egypt or the Haitian, wherever. You have to
Mm-hmm.
do it for all immigrants that are trying to
Mm-hmm.
come over to America, right? Because we nobody
Mm-hmm.
migrated here in the first place. They want their freedom. They want to do things that they can't do over there. Like you said, earthquakes, thousands of people are dying, and so they feel like for me to live and to allow my children to live, I want to go somewhere where I can be free and
Yes.
get whatever it is that I need. So if you trying to send us back, they on horses, whipping us to
Yeah.
get back over the water. Do it for everybody else,
Everybody.
and just
That's
don't
right.
single us out. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. I agree. Deidre?
I agree with Nick and Kat. I mean, it's not fair. It's not fair. It's just
Yeah.
like it's always the same thing. It's just not fair.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's millions of, I don't know if it's millions, but it's thousands of people that come to the U.S. to be citizens, and I think that it, like Kat said, the darker your skin, the harder it is, it seems like, to get in. And that's a problem. That's a major problem. I just feel like, go ahead, Nikki.
I'm sorry. And two, it's like it's so hard for us to come to the US, and it's hard for us to leave the US to go other places as well. So it's
Mhm.
just like you can't win for losing. Like anywhere we go out the country, they're gonna always single us out and pat us down at TSA in the back room, when
Absolutely.
the other color just fly right on by with their drugs and everything else that they have on them. But for us, I can't do anything. So
Hmm.
it's
Yeah,
it's sad. It's very sad.
it
It's
is.
triggering.
It
It's
completely.
very triggering. Just as she was saying, to just watch Border
Yeah.
Patrol horseback, and just you're throwing whips at these individuals, the triggering flashback that it brings to a time and place when that was a reality for people that look like us every single day. For it to be 2021 and to just visually see that, it's just
Hmm.
the way my blood boils. I have to stop and say, Jesus, just bridle me, bridle my tongue, because it
Hmm.
infuriates you. It's horrible to see.
Most definitely. Most definitely.
You had this epiphany based on what your grandmother had done. Saved money for 6 months, paid off debt, slept on the floor. And because of this conversion moment, you literally are sitting on the board of a bank that wouldn't have even given you a loan.
I was a pastor of a church. I was spending so much money dressing like a preacher, driving preacher cars. If I'm spirit filled, the same Holy Ghost that makes me shout can make me wait. Wait until I can afford a BMW and stop giving money, donating money to big banks, paying them 18% interest for the right to use their credit card to buy something I can't afford. It's a mentality.
Moving on to our next subject, women and burnout. So there's an article published that I just read in Time Magazine. As you all can tell, I'm a little nerd. I love reading articles and different things that's happening. But there's an article published by Time Magazine that said 42% of women say that they have felt consistently burnt out from work in 2021, this year now. Are you a part of that group? And why do you feel women are feeling burnout? Do you all feel the burnout from work or from just life in general? And do you understand what these women are talking about? We'll lead off with you, Nikki.
So, I'm an educator, and teaching in the pandemic was very stressful. Dealing with parents, you dealing with students who don't have internet, the weather goes in and out, administrators, they want you inside the building. And then
Mm,
you have some that, it's just their opinion about how they feel about vaccinations and COVID testing and different things like that. Some require it, some doesn't. So now being burnt out, I am strategically like making sure that I'm not getting burnt out. Right. So if
mm,
I feel like there's, too much on my plate, I'm going to let my, principal know like, that's a little bit too much. I don't feel comfortable, because again, I'm young. I don't have any children. And as the article that you're talking about, we have women who don't have childcare. Right. Or they're monitoring their students virtually. So now, like, I teach virtually and inside the classroom. So that can be stressful, but I try not to put as much work on myself as I would if everybody was inside the classroom, if that makes sense,
right,
and try
right.
to be compassionate. I try to be compassionate with my students, and then compassionate with myself, and just say, no, I
Yeah.
can't do it. Nope, I won't be able to stay extra. My answer is no in 2021. And so
Right.
therefore I am going like not trying to get burnt out because I understand how it is. Because if you die today or tomorrow, your job description is going to be on somebody's Indeed
That's
within
right.
24 hours.
That's right. It's the truth. So true. What do you feel about that, Deidre? Burnout in 2021, do you feel it or do you understand it?
I understand it. I can't really say that I feel it. Um, I'm a real estate agent, so of course, when the pandemic first happened, everything kind of slowed down for a minute, and we had to be safe. Like showings and stuff was held off. A lot of people didn't want you in their homes, so of course we had to prepare the buyers for that because they needed a place to stay, so they wanted to get in there and
Hmm.
see it. So we had to redo a lot of stuff. But as far as feeling the burnout, I don't feel it, but I do understand what everybody's going. What everybody's going through, especially with kids, no child care, all of that. Even with helping take care of my grandmother during the pandemic, we couldn't. I couldn't even
Mm,
get her out the house and take her places like go to the park or because she's elderly. So that time was very very stressful. But I understand it. I don't feel the burnout though.
okay. Okay. That's a good thing. That's fair. What about you, Kat? How are you feeling the burnout or not?
Um, I haven't personally felt it. Thank God for that. But I do recognize and understand it because I have been there. I think the thing that we have to keep in mind with so many women is that now it's even tougher to find that work life balance because work has become home. So
Yep.
it's no room to even now separate the two. You're
Right.
in the home working all day, then you're dealing with the children. If you're married, you have a husband, you're trying to keep out the household. You may be in a situation where you're taking care of elderly parents. It's a lot to consider overall. Everything is just so convoluted and meshed together now. So it's I
Yeah.
can understand how it can be hard and difficult. But we have to find ways to set boundaries as women. It's okay to say no.
Most
It's okay
definitely.
to say I
That's
need a
right.
break. It's okay to not be okay. It happens to all of us. We're human. And I think especially for black women, we put this cape on our backs consistently and pull this supergirl thing, and you're human. You can only take but so much before it becomes system overload. So it's necessary to take that time back, even if you have to go hide in the bathroom for 15 minutes. You have to take it. You have to find a
Yeah.
way, to create those areas of boundaries for you to take a breather and just, regroup. It's necessary.
Mm, most definitely. Amen to all of that. And if you're watching, are you burned out? Put it in the comments, and let us know what you're feeling like. Are you a part of that 42%, or are you a part of the look? I'm not good at math. Whatever that percentage is, the other
The
group.
other percent.
It's a little more than half. It's a little more than half. I ain't do well at that, but you know what I'm saying. But I think too, one thing that we're forgetting about is all of the COVID procedures, all of the sickness, all of the death that we hear about on a regular basis. We've got deaths on top of deaths, and even in our church family and friends and people who are, it's always pray for me. My so and so has COVID. If we don't, if it's not close to you, it's somebody you know or somebody that they know. So I think that that's one of the, mental things in the back of your mind, like, it's always happening, it hadn't let up and it's still going, and things are not normal anymore, as we call it. So I think we've got to give ourselves some grace and set some boundaries, is what I heard you guys say, setting boundaries and moving forward. Y'all agree?
Agree.
Absolutely.
Agreed. Agreed. All right, something in pop news, guys. We got to talk about this Kelly Price situation. So I went from being, I'm all concerned. I'm like, oh Lord, Kelly's missing. Where is Kelly? Oh my God, we can't find Kelly. They like, we went to her boyfriend and he's not cooperating. And then the lawyer came out and said, Kelly is fine. And then the sister came out and said, I ain't seen my sister. Then Kelly finally comes out and says, I ain't talked to my sister since my mom's funeral. I ain't seen her in a year. And I'm like, what? And then she talks about all these things. So she was declared missing with a conflicting report. So do you all believe that this was some kind of publicity stunt by her family? Do you really think that they thought she was missing? Or what is your take on it? I'll start with you, Deidre. What do you think about it? Fine, Kelly.
Mm. It's crazy. It's just crazy. I want to say a publicity stunt, but I just hope she's okay. It's clear something
Yeah.
is going on there.
Hmm.
I just hope she's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Most definitely. What about you, Kat?
I'm just like, can Mr. Big's crew find sis where she at? Like, I'm so lost. I'm so lost. I'm
I
like,
hadn't heard Mr. Big in a
like,
minute.
Kelly, pick this phone, girl, call
Right.
somebody. Really? I understand that as celebrities, celebrities have a right to their privacy, but once you have
Yeah.
that public platform, it opens you up to fans who genuinely feel like they have a piece of you and they share
That's right.
genuine concerns for you to allow it to go on for that long. And then the first that we hear from you is through an attorney and they're not physically seeing your face. It's a mess. I'm
Yeah.
so lost. I don't you can't say, is this publicity? Is it just tension within families, and an overreaction? I'm lost because you're saying that the COVID bout for you was 2 months ago. They lost you just for 2 months. Hmm. Okay.
Anybody feeling like Kat?
I'm trying not to laugh.
I'm like, but the thing about it is, that's a serious thing when somebody is missing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know if they're dead or alive at all. And the R&B community, the gospel community, everybody was like, "Where's Kelly Price? Where's Kelly Price?" It was a whole situation. Nikki, what's your take on
Cocaine is a heck of a drug. Okay.
it?
It is.
And good night.
Oh my. Oh goodness.
Oh Lord, we coming off today. There you go.
Mm-mm-mm. Sheesh.
Go ahead, Nikki.
It is definitely a lot.
Yeah.
Being in the industry, you do have publicity stunts, right? And she doesn't have a good rep from the
Mm-hmm.
last couple of years for
Yep.
shows and things like that. And so sometimes people have to conjure up something to make a comeback. And
Hmm.
so, with her family, like you have to, when it comes to like missing persons report, you got to be careful when you
You
falsely put
do.
something, because you really
Mm-hmm.
do have to like, um you gotta, whatever consequences come to you, like you gotta pay those dues. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Right.
right.
But she also said that she had a something called long COVID, whereas it was
Long hauler.
longer.
She meant long hauler. Did she mean long
Long,
hauler, not long COVID?
I'm just like,
I'm trying to
what?
look. I'm trying to help her out. I'm trying to get. I'm trying to. I'm trying to.
But
I'm trying to help her out. You know.
But here's the thing. It's like the family versus her, right? So you
Mm,
never know what the family motives are. And who's to
true.
say that she had COVID or she could have been in a different type of hospital? Because she also said
Mm-hmm.
in her interview that she has to
Wow.
rehab herself to be ready for concerts. So it's like when you start listening beyond the surface, you just
Mm-hmm.
never know where she been all that time. Now we could all assume where she was, but family, they have a way of trying to really exposing you without exposing you.
Mm,
Right.
If that makes
wow.
and so like she said, I ain't talked to my sister in a year, and you family,
Mm,
listen, will do any and everything for fame, money. Family is just, you know how they can
yeah.
be. But
Hmm.
I'm glad she's safe. I'm glad she's alive. She died, and we all, I guess, may have died. We supposed to kill our flesh daily, right? You're supposed to die
I'm just
daily.
not even. Why
But
don't you hide behind these? I'm trying to hide behind three note cards.
And I'm
but
trying not to
I
laugh.
am very happy that she's alive and well. She looks good. She looks
Yeah,
Come
she
on,
good.
does.
Lazarus.
Yeah, so I'm just looking forward to see if there's a single coming out within the next 3 months or so.
Wow.
She should
Because
she
you
should
know,
entitle the album Lazarus. Get up.
I'm putting Nikki and Kat are going to Friday Night Live with Pastor because that's where y'all need to be. I'll throw y'all in there. Friday Night Live, Edie Smith, Kat, and Nikki Brown. That's what it need to be from now on. I'll put y'all on.
Oh
Yeah,
gosh.
but the good news is she's safe and she looks well and she looks like she's coming around, and I am glad that she is because I was really concerned though because I was just like, what? What's going on? You know, what happened? And then it was like, okay, attorney said one thing, then the sister was like, I have not talked to my sister. Then they were saying about the boyfriend thing, and then it was just so many reports. And everybody's like, I mean, okay, so yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot. Sister said boyfriend, Kelly Price said husband, child, they all confused.
Yeah, it was. We was all over the place on that.
Meet the scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you!
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Okay, so we're gonna play a little game, yes or no, and I'm gonna talk about one of the many topics that's a big deal right now, and this pertains to you. Would you do it, yes or no? Okay. So the first thing is there's a growing trend right now with women proposing to men. Would you do it, yes or no, Deidre? You
No.
cannot cuss in this either. I can see Cat's face like, wait a minute, we Cat. I guess I could just take that as a no. Okay, that's a no for you, Nikki. That's a no for you. They
It's a
can't
no
say
for
nothing
me.
right now because okay, that's a no for them. Okay, yeah,
Why
that's a
would
no
they do
for
that?
yeah.
I
Don't
mean,
girl. They say you know it. You don't have to wait on the man to do it. You can do it. That's what they're saying. Now I don't know nothing about that. I don't understand that, but that's what
But
they
I
say.
believe he doesn't want to if he didn't do it.
Exactly.
That part.
Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna be a mess. Yeah. Okay. Second thing. After hearing and seeing the details of R. Kelly, is he muted or canceled for you? Deidre, we had this conversation.
I love his music. Yeah, I hate the whole thing.
Yes, it's awful.
Would I support new stuff or no? No. But I mean,
Yeah,
R.
yeah,
Kelly has been around since I was a teenager. I mean, his
right.
music, not him, but his music. You know, very talented man. I hate the whole thing. Um, I don't think he's muted because there's still a lot of people that love him and a lot of people that still don't believe he did it. And so I really
Hmm.
don't think he's muted.
Yeah, yeah. What about you, Kat? Muted, canceled for you? R. Kelly?
It's a no for me. You can't mute what has become classic or legend.
Yes.
Mm.
Does he need some help? Has there been some things and some tremendous flaws and hiccups for this gentleman? Absolutely. But I mean, I'm not canceling TP2.com because that's my joint. I'm not gonna be able to do it. It's way for
I love it.
you know.
I love it too. That's why she's on here with what's happening. What about you guys online? Are y'all canceling R. Kelly completely? No more R. Kelly at all. No more music. I ain't talking about nothing he's gonna do. I'm talking about in the past. I believe I can fly for the same. All of those songs. Nikki, what about you?
Um, no. I mean, he's a creative guy. Like, I wouldn't
Yeah.
cancel any of his music or mute him at all. Like, his gifting is different from his personality, like in real life.
Yeah.
Like, he put out great music. That's who he is. That's how I know. I don't know him personally. I mean, my heart goes out to the ones who might have, been victimized by him or whatever, but
Yeah.
Mhm.
mm,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a very unfortunate situation when you watch all of the things, and it's sickening. And that
mm.
music, man. Okay. All right, our next question. Do you believe women can have it all? And we're talking about the family. Excuse me. Let me rephrase the question. Do you believe women can have it all without lacking something? Meaning, can you have it all without something falling through the cracks, like your career, your family, the husband? Can you do it all and nothing fall through? Deidre, I'll start with you.
Mm, it's gonna. I feel it's gonna always be something. Um,
Hmm.
can we have it all? Yeah, I think we can. We can have enough. Yeah, we can have it
Yeah,
all.
yeah, that's a good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kat, what? What about you?
I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
And listen, you can chase it all. You can have it all. Maybe not necessarily seeing it as something lacking, but something is going to be compromised. You may not
Mm,
get it the way you were thinking it was going to come. It may not be exactly what you thought it was going to be. Something along the line is going to be compromised within that situation, because we're not perfect people. Because if
Right.
that's
if you're
right.
trying to chase it all at one time, that's where that burnout starts to come in at. You're doing too much all at once at one time. So for me, it's just a no.
Okay. Okay. Nikki, what about you?
It's a no for me as well. Like Kat said, something is definitely going to go lacking. Like you can have a house, car, family, everything, but are you really happy? You know, um, but on the flip side of that, what does it have? Having it all looks like for a particular person, right? Because having it all for
Right.
me may not be as much as the next woman, right? So me being single with a dog, a career, and that's it. It could be just enough, and I'm happy. So it just really
Right.
kind of depends on the individual.
Yes. Most definitely. I agree. I think that it depends on the person too and time management. But I think you have to put what's important first. Like if you have a family and children, I think that should always be number one and then kind of circle everything around it. But you've really got to manage your time if you're gonna do it all. I think that, it can happen, but you got to be on it. Like for real. And you can't factor in things that go wrong. So yeah. Okay, and our last thing, does sugar go on grits? Does sugar go on grits? Deidre, does sugar go on grits?
As a
You
child, it
better
did.
not.
As a child, it did.
Where you from?
Here, Atlanta. That's the only way I would eat it. Now I wouldn't do
Really?
it.
Well, you put sugar in anything, people will eat it. That's why we all, yeah, people got diabetes and everything else nowadays. What about you, Kat? Sugar
Listen,
go in
I don't
grits?
care what you guys say. Call me country, ratchet. I need some sugar on my grits. You don't have to drown it, but without the sugar, you're eating sand. It's sand, Laria.
No, it's
Like,
not.
if you gonna do sand, you gotta spice the sand up. You know, a plain grit, I need a little bit of sugar on it. Now, if we're gonna do the sophisticated thing, we're gonna do the shrimp and grits, and of course, no. But
Right.
if
Okay.
I'm doing a basic breakfast at home, give me a little country ham, some thick fat biscuits, I'm gonna need some sugar. Okay, I don't care. I don't care.
John P. Key got a song for y'all. Nikki, what you what you say?
Well, I love salt on my grits. I'm from the East Coast. If you put sugar in grits, you might as well eat cream of wheat or just get some oatmeal.
That's what I'm
Like,
saying.
like grits, no, not sugar. I mean, it has to have that little salty taste. And if you put the shrimp in it, like Kat said, you're not gonna put sugar on your shrimp. You're gonna put some spices, some salt, pepper, But yeah, it's salt for me.
Y'all gonna get
Now
kicked out of
sometimes
House of Hope when Pastor Smith hear this.
sometimes I add jelly.
I've seen a lot of people do that too, and
Yeah, sometimes I do add
when
jelly.
I came to House of Hope, we would eat in between services, and I would see people put jelly in it. I had never seen that
Uh-huh.
before. I didn't even know people put sugar in their grits till I came to it. I was like, "What is going on? What is happening here? What are we doing?" But I think, and this is just a little tip. This is a country tip to give you some flavor. If you cook your grits in chicken stock or any kind of stock, it will give it a good flavor as well. And it won't taste for some of y'all that need extra whatever because you feel like it tastes like sand. Really salt and butter and season your water and your grits will taste good. That's just a little, look, I'm just throwing that out there for free like the preachers be saying.
Chicken stock. Okay, I'm gonna try that.
Yeah, for real. Your grits will be like fire. That's why people say, I'll eat shrimp and grits or whatever, but they cook that stock, that seafood stock that they had.
Okay.
So you can do it then. But do it that way. It'll taste good. Yeah. But anyway, sugar does not go on grits for the record. So I don't want anybody leaving the pink table talk believing that is correct. So y'all don't listen to the two ladies in agreement on that in the black. Don't listen to them. John P. He got a song called Sugar Don't Go on Grits. Literally, go look it up. It's awesome. We don't believe that over here in holiness. But anyway, that is all the time we have for today, you guys. It has been such a good girl. So this was a real pink table talk. We really had a good time, y'all. I enjoyed you guys. For those of you who participated with us today, thank you so much. We had Deja Stafford, Kat Braxton, Nikki Brown. Thank you all for being on. And we're going to have to come back and do this again because we really didn't get in it like we could have got in it. But next time, we're going for the gusto. We're going all the way in. I'm bringing them back. They got to come back. Any last words, ladies? Anything y'all want to say?
No. Have a great week.
All right. Okay. You guys have an awesome week. And thank you for watching the Pink Table Talk. And we'll see you the next time. Love y'all. Bye.